Welcome to Fame Factor, the podcast that unpacks the rise, fall, and reinvention of the world's most unforgettable icons. I'm your host, Sonia Lambert, and today we're diving into one of the most remarkable comeback stories in Hollywood history. Picture this. By 2006, Robert Downey Jr. was years sober but still playing forgettable roles, like sixth billing in The Shaggy Dog. An interviewer even joked he was opening for a puppet show. Just 2 years later, he wasn't opening for anyone. He was the show, launching the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Tony Stark. But his journey back to the top didn't start in a billion-dollar suit of armor. It started with a fake punk persona, a knife hidden in a sock, and a chaotic ride through 1980s Los Angeles. And remember, this is just one of the many incredible stories waiting for you on Skoob, your AI-powered podcast studio. Download the Skoob app now on the App Store or Play Store and start listening today. Now, let's begin our deep dive into the life of Robert Downey Jr., starting with the day a young Robert arrived in Los Angeles from New York. The moment he landed, expectations followed. As a New Yorker, people assumed he was tough, streetwise, maybe even a little dangerous. So, what did he do? He leaned into it. He built an entire persona to match. Imagine this teenager cruising the streets on a bicycle, a knife tucked in his sock, spiky hair, bold clothes, playing the role of a fearless punk with something to prove. But here's the beautiful irony. It was all an act. While he was pretending to be this rebellious punk rocker, his musical taste actually leaned toward Genesis, Supertramp, and Steely Dan. He had a passion for singing, participating in choral competitions performing Schubert, and even sang in malls during holiday seasons. Deep down, he was a theater enthusiast, but he felt compelled to hide these interests to gain acceptance and win over trendy girlfriends. As he shared in a 1992 Harper's Bazaar interview, he desperately wanted to fit in and be at the center of attention. This led him to experiment with various scenes, including drugs and casual interactions. At Santa Monica High School, San Mo as the locals called it, he walked the halls alongside future stars Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. He formed a particular bond with Ramon Estevez, Emilio's brother, who ironically exposed him to both punk rock fundamentals and tap dancing, while introducing him to the intricate world of theater arts. School itself held little appeal for Robert. He preferred smoking pot and appearing only for theater productions like Oklahoma, Detective Story, and The Rivals, or for singing madrigals with one of the less popular school clubs. He always felt different, an outsider, even while desperately trying to fit in. Let's talk about what teenage rebellion actually looked like for Robert in early 1980s LA. In a 2009 interview with Scott Rabe, he nostalgically recounted various escapades, getting into fights, procuring alcohol despite being underage, indulging in drunken adventures in Douglas Park, and enjoying late-night burgers at Jack in the Box. He worked part-time at a thrifty store where he and his friends orchestrated schemes to make extra cash. It was during this period that he encountered his first DUI. And here's the kicker, he didn't even have a legal driving license. The charge came from taking his friend Chris Bell's mother's Mercedes on a joyride, and then having the audacity to ask a police officer for directions. Robert described himself as a latchkey kid growing up on the streets, and these stories paint a vivid picture of that reality. His formal education essentially ended in 11th grade, when a guidance counselor informed him about necessary makeup courses to graduate. The counselor tried to enlist Robert Sr.'s help, but his father gave him a choice: return to school or find employment. Later, Robert would describe his father as the wrong person to call for such matters. Acknowledging mixed feelings about his childhood freedom and lack of discipline, he told the son that he wished for proper discipline when he was 18. His formal schooling wouldn't resume until he earned his GED in prison, reportedly achieving the highest marks attained by any inmate at the time. After dropping out, Robert moved back to New York City to seriously pursue acting, initially living with his sister on Edgar Allan Poe Street. Yes, that's actually a real street name. He took whatever work he could find, and what work it was. He became living art at the area nightclub, placing Gumby dolls on a conveyor belt while dressed in a bright orange jumpsuit for $10 an hour. He also sold shoes, though he was eventually fired for theft, and worked as a busboy at Central Falls, where he once served tea to Sting. But Robert was determined to make it in show business. He appeared in various theater productions, including Norman Lear's musical American Passion in 1983, and attended countless auditions. His approach to auditions perfectly captured his bold demeanor and touch of cynicism. In one instance, he arrived at an audition and confidently declared to an entire room of actors that they could all leave because he was the one getting the part. His outspoken nature occasionally cost him jobs, but it also won him others. In a 1988 Rolling Stone interview, he revealed his philosophy. The entertainment industry valued presence over talent. Think about that for a moment. Talent brought him recognition and opportunity. Ambition fueled his relentless pursuit. But his inherent charm made sure he became one of the few New York busboys who successfully transitioned into show business. This combination of attributes propelled Robert into a burgeoning acting career, setting the stage for everything that would follow. Now, let's talk about what makes Robert Downey Jr. such a compelling actor, because understanding his craft helps explain his incredible comeback. The art of acting fundamentally involves becoming what you are not, a concept dating back to the inception of performed drama. Historically, this involved masks, elaborate costumes, and makeup. Actors like Charles Macklin and David Garrick in the 18th century established the concept of personation, prioritizing the embodiment of characters over the actor's personal identity. Film stardom complicates this goal because it relies on projected personas as much as acting proficiency. During Hollywood's golden age, stars were meticulously groomed to align their public images with their roles. Icons like John Wayne consistently depicted a rugged archetype, maintaining constant persona across decades. This approach was echoed by James Cagney, Humphrey Bogart, Bette Davis, and Marilyn Monroe. In contrast, some actors pursued diverse roles, striving to lose themselves entirely within characters. Frederick March, Spencer Tracy, and Paul Muni were celebrated for this chameleon-like ability. Contemporary stars often blend both approaches. Think Robert De Niro and Meryl Streep, initially praised for chameleon qualities, but later sometimes embracing familiar character styles. Then there are unique performers who simply embody their true selves, creating characters indistinguishable from their real personas. Judy Garland epitomizes this phenomenon. Her off-screen fragility and vulnerability melded with her roles, notably in the 1954 A Star is Born. Her personal struggles became inseparable from her performances. For Robert Downey Jr., audiences now engage with his performances through three overlapping filters: the in-film character function, his star persona from notable roles, and his personal biography. Originally recognized as a Brat Pack member, Downey showcased remarkable adaptability, culminating in his Oscar-nominated role as Chaplin in 1992. Currently, he's renowned for portraying extraordinary figures like Tony Stark and Sherlock Holmes. What's fascinating is his signature technique, downplaying intense emotions. Downey creates characters through sardonic quips, reactive expressions, and subtle, often muttered insights, ensuring his presence contrasts the high-stakes environments of his films with an almost supernatural calmness. This technique becomes even more poignant when you consider his three noteworthy independent films following rehabilitation: The Singing Detective in 2003, plus A Scanner Darkly, and Fur, an imaginary portrait of Diane Arbus in 2006. Though not widely seen, these films showcase Downey's ability to imbue roles with unique reflective depth, paving the way for his blockbuster emergence. In later transformative roles like Kirk Lazarus in Tropic Thunder, which earned him another Academy Award nomination, and the unforgettable Tony Stark, Downey's post-rehabilitation performances present a narrative of compromised yet resilient heroism. It's as if his personal journey toward recovery informed every character choice, creating this beautiful synergy between artist and art. Here's something many people don't know about Robert Downey Jr. He's genuinely musically talented and has been creating music for decades. Unlike many celebrities who merely recite lines from scripts, he was versatile and capable of exploring various creative avenues. Encouraged by his friend Levin, he eventually completed an album titled The Futurist, a project 15 years in the making at Jonathan Elias's music studio in New York. This endeavor was one of his proudest personal accomplishments due to its independent nature. But this wasn't his first musical foray. Prior to attending Corcoran Prison, he'd recorded another album at the studio of longtime friend and musician Moogie Klingman, who had played with icons like Todd Rundgren and Eric Clapton. However, this album never saw release. Back in 1990, Downey had showcased his musical talent by writing and performing the title track for his father's film Too Much Sun. He also composed Snake for the Two Girls and a Guy soundtrack, plus uncredited contributions like the track Carla in Friends and Lovers. His musical talents extended to television as well. He appeared on two Ally McBeal compilation albums alongside Vonda Shepard, contributing vocals to songs like Every Breath You Take and White Christmas. His participation was notable enough that promotional efforts were planned, including a scheduled appearance at Virgin Megastore in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, these plans coincided with his arrest in Culver City. Perhaps, most remarkably, Downey's life and struggles have inspired other artists to create music about him. At least 5 musicians have recorded pieces inspired by his story. Marissa Levy wrote a folksy tribute when she realized she needed an engaging, humorous song to open her first show. Her set list was filled with slow, mellow tunes, so she crafted a lively track to energize audiences. Sitting with dorm friends surrounded by Downey posters, they brainstormed witty lyrics, completing the song in 30 minutes. To her surprise, it became a cult favorite, constantly requested at performances. Though Downey has since cleaned up his lifestyle, fans still enjoy the song, even if some don't remember his Ally McBeal days. She attempted a sequel titled Wanna Be in Rehab with You, a love song with a twist, but it never achieved significant traction. Other artists drew inspiration from his tumultuous past as well. The band Kill Whitney Dead produced a death metal song titled Starring Robert Downey Jr. as the Addict, and Swedish group Southside Stalkers also wrote about him. Sparrow, a Southside Stalkers member who'd undergone her own brief rehab stint, found personal connection to Downey's story. Her bandmate Indy composed a catchy tune that resonated deeply with fans, becoming their best-selling song on iTunes. Through all of this chaos and creativity, family remained crucial to Robert's story. His relationship with his father, Robert Downey Jr., the influential filmmaker known for Putney Swope, evolved significantly over time. With therapy's aid, they found new depths and renewed closeness. Although elements of their past remained unresolved, they progressed to what might be considered the best stage of their relationship. The elder Downey occasionally appeared in films by younger filmmakers who admired his work, such as Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia and Brett Ratner's The Family Man. Ratner had an interesting connection, having associated with Downey Jr. and Anthony Michael Hall during his New York youth. Though Downey Sr.'s directorial career faced challenges mid-2000s, his existing films gained cult following, leading to art house revivals. On the personal front, Downey Sr. found happiness marrying Rosemary Rogers, a skilled music producer and author known for mother-daughter movies 101 Films to See Together. Robert Jr. played best man at their May 1998 wedding, taking leave from a halfway house to attend the New York ceremony, a testament to family priorities during his recovery journey. His bond with sister Allison also demonstrated family resilience. Though she experienced her own tumultuous moments away from public eye, she pursued various endeavors, including brief acting stints. Her roles in films like 1999 and Funny Valentine showcased latent comedic abilities. In Funny Valentine, writer-director Jeff Oppenheim praised her comedic timing and capacity to enthrall crews with humor, portraying an eager woman responding to personal ads in a memorable performance. And so we come full circle, from that kid with a knife in his sock, pretending to be punk while secretly loving Steely Dan, to the man who would become the foundation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Robert Downey Jr. S story isn't just about addiction and recovery, though that's certainly part of it. It's about authenticity finally winning over performance, about talent combined with presence creating something magical, about second chances and the power of family. When he steps into that Iron Man suit, there's something profoundly fitting about it. Tony Stark, after all, is a man with a mechanical heart who's galvanized into heroic action, not unlike an actor whose personal struggles galvanized him into becoming one of Hollywood's most compelling performers. So there you have it, the real Robert Downey Jr. Not just the comeback king or the man in the Iron Man suit, but an artist who turned chaos into craft, pain into presence, and performance into truth. From a punk facade and a knife in his sock to red carpets and redemption, his journey is a testament to second chances and to the kind of talent that doesn't fade, even in the darkest moments. Robert Downey Jr., superhero, yes, but so much more than Hollywood's favorite comeback. His story isn't just about fame lost and found. It's about finding yourself in the spotlight and choosing to stay. The story doesn't end here, and you don't have to either. Head over to the Skoob app to hear the full, unfiltered story of Robert Downey Jr. and more unforgettable icons. Download Skoob now, your AI-powered podcast companion for deeper thinking in minutes. Get it on the App Store or Play Store, and keep exploring.